and welcome to the fifth quarter AZ. My name is Danny Neal, and I am happy to be here on the show this morning. Cold, sunny morning. Cold, snowy morning, and it's Flagstaff. It's Flagstaff. So I just want to welcome everybody. Hope everybody was safe getting into work today and getting to school. And you know, I'm just happy to see that my co-host made it today. Uh, and that's my guy, the man, the myth, the legend, the coach, Mr. Tyrone Johnson. How you doing this morning, Coach?
Oh, coach, it was rough out there, but I made it. So I'm doing good this morning. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. I got this little cough, but I'm all right, man. And I don't know. I went and shaved today, and I made a mistake because I should have kept that winter beard on like you, man. I
Yeah,
got my
man, you
seasons.
gotta stay warm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I got my seasons all messed up, man. But it's winter, and when it snows like this, when the snow's falling, jump shots are falling. So how was your game last night?
Oh man, you hope the jump shots be falling. Game was good. I mean, at this time of the year, you got a lot of sickness going around
Right.
throughout the town and all that. And as much as we want to be immune to it, we're not in terms of a program. And so we had our normal roster is 15. We had 10 girls down with either injury, sickness. Some had wisdom teeth pulled out, et cetera, et cetera. And then of the 10 that were playing, we had about two or three of them that just weren't at 100%. And so it
Right.
was just a great opportunity last night for other girls to step up and show what they can do. So when their number is called, they can maximize the opportunity. So it was good in that sense. And then, yeah, they got it going, and the threes were falling eventually.
Well, that's all right, man. But that's just Lady Eagle basketball, and I know that everybody is having that problem right now, just with the sicknesses and the colds. So we want everybody to be well and healthy and take care of your bodies,
Yep.
regardless whether you're old as me or young as you. It doesn't matter. Um, and on that, I want to before we go any further, I want to wish my son Marcus Neal a happy 47th birthday today. You know,
Happy
um,
birthday.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, I know we go a lot of places sometimes, and people look at you and look at me and say, "Hey, Coach Johnson, is that your dad?" Well, I want you to know, man, my son is 47 years old. You 50. I was much too young for you to be me to be your daddy. So you
True,
can
true, true.
be. So excuse me, but yeah,
Yeah,
man.
well, happy birthday, big dog.
Yeah,
That's our
yeah.
guy. And so the only
Right.
thing is missing, coach, you got to sing him your birthday song.
Oh yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So hey
And,
man,
and coach,
Marcus,
real quick,
yeah.
don't skim over the JV and freshman performance. How y'all do last night?
Man, we did. It was tough. It was a couple girls. Just we had to get disciplined a little bit, so I didn't get a chance to start my starters like I wanted to. So we got behind about 22-11 at the end
Hmm.
of the first half. But we came back in the second half and we put on a 32-3 run for the second half and got it done. And of course, that freshman team is just on spot, man. They just out
Right.
there getting it done. They just getting it
Yep.
done.
Yep.
You got Coach Janie and Coach Andre out there, and sometimes I stop my practice on one end of the dome just to see how hard that freshman team is working and how they
Right.
got them working, man. And it's special to have young girls like on that freshman team. Not shading my JV at all. But when you got young girls who really don't know what to expect coming into high school, to get out there and push and work as hard as they're doing, man. That's why when they get to you, um, they're ready for the
Right.
most part. They're ready for the
Yep.
most part. And it starts at that freshman level. And that's just the culture that you've created. Um, and they're down there doing a great job. So kudos to them. So yeah, man, it's been great. It's been fun. The season is winding down, and man, it's just a real nice family atmosphere there, and we're doing really well. But Coach, this is my first time that I've been able to talk to you and literally be able to call you Pawpaw. You, you got that brand new baby boy, grandbaby boy, man, and now you in my league, baby. You in my league. So now all you got to do is get 10 more grandkids and one great grandchild, and you be caught up with me. So congratulations to you, to Julie, your better half, and your daughter Illy and her husband Devin on this. So tell me a little bit about your grandson, man. I know this is a sports talk show, but he's gonna be shooting jump shots in the next 5 years.
Look, since you said that, man, I wasn't gonna do this, but look, you're gonna make me do a grandpa moment real quick. We talk about that. Illy sent us a text like the other day, and the text was like saying his name is Soul Elias, and so the text is like Soul is already dreaming about getting buckets, and if you look at the picture, you can see his little left hand there with the little jump shot right there. So I guess he's dreaming about getting buckets, man. So
that's all right. Well, if anything like his pawpaw, he's gonna be shooting. He's gonna be putting them on. and hopefully he gets a lot of his mom so he can play that lockdown D and he'll be a complete player.
Yes,
So,
indeed. Yes,
so
indeed.
that's
So, he's a
all
healthy
right.
baby boy, 8 pounds, 3 ounces, 22 inches long, and he and mom are doing well. And so, just a blessing. I'm ready for that role. I'm ready for that role to be Paw. I had told them when they were young, don't make me a grandpa before I'm 50, and they
Wait
waited
until
right till I
you're
was
50.
50. So I'm ready. I'm ready.
Hey man, that's good stuff. And that's congratulations to you. And we can't forget about Devin. He's gonna be a great dad, and he's got that good size.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Big
Yeah.
boy.
So with your size, with his dad's size, and his mom's, and probably Julie was probably more athletic than you, but his grandparents' athletic ability. Looking for special things, and I hope I'm blessed to just be able to watch that young man come up and I mean, and the thing is, he's not just gonna be a great athlete. His mom is brilliant. His dad is brilliant. I always tell people, you're the smartest man I know, and I just don't understand why you do some of the things you do. So if he could have that mind that you guys, which he will have, then hey, his man, it's a blessing for him to be born into y'all family. So that's great stuff, man.
We'll definitely
So
take it.
yeah, man. Yeah. So it's been fun. It's people getting at it. And but we do have a guest, man. And we want to move right in. This gentleman has been around a long time, leading the boys soccer program. I'm interested to learn a lot. He tells all the time how we talk. Hey, good luck, coach. Good luck, coach. I don't know much more about him than that. So he's going to make me smarter today. And with that, we would like to introduce the boys soccer coach at Flagstaff High School, the coach, Mr. Mike Jenkins. Good morning, coach. How you doing, man?
Great. How are you guys?
All right, all right. And you're used to our foolishness, so that ain't nothing
Oh,
new
yeah.
to you.
Absolutely.
What's up, Coach? How you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Coach Johnson? It's good to see you, man.
Good
Congratulations.
to see you too, man. Definitely
that's
appreciate
awesome.
you joining us this morning.
Yeah. I can't wait to be a papa someday too. That'd be good. Yeah.
Wait till
Yes,
you're 50.
indeed.
Yeah. I got that. I'm at 55. So
Oh, man.
I'm ready, but my daughter's not ready. So
Yeah, I know that's right. It's hard to see.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, coach, like I said, man, I don't know where you grew up at. I don't know where you went to high school. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I grew up in Tucson, Arizona. That's where I grew up. My dad was in the military, flew A-10s. So we kind of moved around a lot. Went to Kansas for a year, and then I spent 3 years up in Alaska for high school, and then went back to Tucson where I graduated, and then moved up here in, 91, and then went to an AU and got my teaching degree. I used to work at a couple programs with the youth, and that's where I think I first met you probably a long time ago, back at the center there, the rec center. I just took the kids in there, and that's where I kind of saw you, and boy, you were a big mentor to those kids. And so it's always been pleasure to watch you guys and have you guys part of our programs, and you guys are just such great community members. So it's always a privilege to watch you guys. Learn from you all too from the side. So so I've been teaching here for 25 years and coaching for 25 years here. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, coach. And yeah, no, we definitely appreciate the compliments, but we also just appreciate being part of the family and having people like you, representing these young men and whatnot. And this year you guys are putting it on, coach. You're really doing it. You know what I mean? We coach basketball for a reason because we don't like to be out in the elements, and so you guys out in the elements. But right now in 4A, you're the top ranked team. How,
Yeah.
how is this season coming along? And I know last year you guys were you made it into the playoff round.
We got the playoff round and had a trip down to Flowing Wells and didn't go so well. That's the chance you take when you go on the road and you play in an environment that you're not used to. And when you play basketball, right, the courts are courts, right? You got level surfaces. In soccer, you don't know what you're going to get where you go. And Flowing Wells they have a tough grass surface. They don't have turf or anything like that. So it was a very rough patch, and that's just not our style of game. We don't do well when the field's not in great shape, and so they took it to us. So we were knocked out. But I know that junior group that was part of that program last year, they were they knew that this year they wanted to take it far, and boy, they started basically working right after the season was over. As soon as they were going in after school, after practices were done with track and working out, and they did a lot of off-season workouts on their own. And then, they just wanted to come into this season, give it all they had. They're, a great group of kids. So yeah, that sour taste last year was sour, and they just knew that they wanted to make a run this year. We knew we had some, not only our seniors, but we had a great junior group and a couple sophomores that have come in, and they're a really fun group to work with. They're just fun kids, man. That's all I can say. And I think when you have fun kids and they're just getting along and gelling, good things can happen.
So it was just really motivation from last year's losses was propelled the success so far this season for the players. But for you as a coach, what was your motivating factor? Did you do anything differently this year after looking at last year? Do you switch from year to year? Do you keep with the same philosophy throughout?
Well, I kind of keep with the same philosophy throughout, but I knew I had some, you change your formations every once in a while. And I've always kind of run what we call 4-3-3. But this year I have the pleasure of having three really strong center backs. And so we kind of changed our formation and run a 3-5-2, which is, that's what the kids kind of wanted to do. And actually it was funny because Coach Myers, who used to coach with me in the JV level too, his son Ryder was kind of the one that had talked to me like, "Hey, coach, I think we could do a 3-5-2 next year." And I started looking at it. I was like, I've never coached it, but you know what? Let me go do my research. So all summer I was kind of doing research on it and looking at it. And so when we came into the season, we started changing up some pattern play and all that kind of stuff. And the boys bought into it, and we haven't looked back since. So this year, and so it's been working out real well for us. We know we can always fall back in another formation if we have to, but they really seem to like it, and they thrived in this environment. So it's kind of a nice thing, right? Where it took a lot out of me to change up some things and do some studying. So that was kind of fun. I've been stuck, I guess, in one formation for a long time. So it was comfortable. It felt right, but get out of that comfort zone and try something out. So it's been good. Yeah.
Nice. And before Coach Johnson says it, because I know he will, a novice like me, explain what the three center back is. What is their responsibility?
So their responsibility, right, is to lock down the defense, but also be a part of the offense as well. So our team philosophy is, right, everyone plays offense, everyone plays defense. And so, typically you usually see a 4-back system. So you have 2 center backs and you have 2 full backs on the outside. But this year we brought in and we took one of those full backs away and put him up kind of in the midfield. And we have kind of 3 center backs. And so they keep the middle of the field kind of compressed, and then everyone else kind of works off of them in the back system.
So you said that, of course, we have turf here in Flagstaff.
Yeah.
You go to somewhere, Tucson, Florida, Wells, where they have grass.
Yeah.
Do you make accommodations by making sure the kids bring, longer cleats, shoes with longer cleats, or do they have to? I mean, how do you have to have? Excuse me, two pair. How do you handle that?
Oh, I mean, in fact, when you go to some of those places, it's like dirt. So it almost like whatever they're using for our turf is what they need to be using for there. We don't have the luxury of because a lot of them don't plant the winter grass, so,
Right.
but what I've noticed over the years is that a lot of the schools have gone to the turf. So there's really not that many facilities that we play on anymore that are grass. Lee Williams, though, they have grass, and it gets really rough in the winter. And then that Flowing Wells team had grass, but most of the other schools that we play on,
Right.
they're all turf now. So as far as adjustments get made is, we don't have, there's no facilities that have grass that have like real thick grass in the winter. So whatever turf shoes they're wearing right now, they're going to wear down there.
So when we look at the region, Coach, you have obviously if you're one overall, you're one in region, but then you have Bradshaw right behind you, and you got them coming up today.
Yeah.
So what's the game plan going into Bradshaw?
Oh, I'll tell you what, that is going to be that's going to be a playoff game, right? That's region title, I think, on the line. They're having a wonderful season, as you well know, right? I think they're 8-1 and ranked 8th in the region right now. And so we know going down there, it's going to be a dogfight. We were just thinking about it's like this is our 3rd year in a row going down there, and I was trying to think of why in the world are we doing that 3 times in a row? So it must have been weather related that we had to go down there. But
Right.
we'll go down there. They've got a nice facility down there. We'll let all the distractions go out, and but they've got a great program. We just know that it's going to be a dogfight. We know their weapons, and so we've talked about it. I think they're ready to go. Obviously there's going to be some nervousness going in, but hey, this is good. This is a good time to get those games in right now before the state run. So excited.
So as the season evolves into the playoffs, I know in basketball we have the Open Division, we have the 4A conferences. How does your playoff system work?
So right now we don't have that open division, so it's just it'll be the play-in games, that they'll have. So that typically the old system, right, that we were all used to. So I think they might be adopting that play-in system, or I mean the open season next year, but it's not this.
Yep. And when you talk about like this big game and you talk about getting ready for playoffs and everything, how much does scouting come into play for you? Are you a coach that sits up and watches hours and hours of film? Do you have players watch film? How much does scouting each opponent come into your coaching philosophy and game planning?
It's hard, right? Because we don't share films with like football does, and I don't know if you guys do it either. So you're basically trying to get things off of the NHS, whatever, the website there, if they're televising their games. And so that's kind of a hard thing to do. You just kind of go off of what you've known from the past. We were able to, I guess, see a game where Bradshaw played Prescott, so we were able to watch that game. So we took advantage of that yesterday and went in there and just kind of watched the first half and was looking at some of their tendencies, whatnot. So yeah, I like to watch film as much as possible. And then we record our games, and so we do our film studies as well.
Nice.
And you notice that, I mean, you mentioned that you have a lot of your players who also run track.
Yeah, a lot of them will do. I have some cross country kids. Most of them, though, they're interested in doing track. They kind of talk about it, but then they just kind of stick back with club. But I have had kids in the past that have done track. A lot actually at the JV level right now. They are big cross country runners, and then I think a lot of them are going to go do track in the fall just to kind of check it out because they're young. But most of my upper level kids, they keep going with club, except for like Michael Nilsson, right? He's an all around athlete. He does football and then comes and then does the soccer thing, and then he'll go do track in the spring.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about multi-purpose athletes and the summer competitives? You coach also.
Yeah. So yeah, I coach club here in town. And so that's an interesting thing. I always support all those kids that want to try new things. I think it's good for the body, and it's a good thing. But it's hard to compete with, when these kids are just playing soccer year round, right? They're developing their skills over and over. And I think you probably guys see it too in basketball too, right? Is that, if they're not playing club, they're not keeping up in some ways, right? So all those little technical skills, you know, when you talk about shooting and 3-pointers, that all comes with lots and lots of practice. And it's the same thing with, you know, dribbling and receiving the pass and making passes, right? It's a lot of repetition. But there are some athletes that can do it. You know, Michael Nielsen is one young man who is, I don't know how he does it. And it is truly an amazing thing to watch when you can see an athlete who goes and does one sport, football, for example, and excels at that, and then comes and plays soccer and is an absolute amazing defender and has a great touch and all that. And then he'll go and run track. And he has never played club, I don't think, in his entire life. And I don't know how he does it, to be honest with you.
That's great.
We just have some athletes that just are able to do things, and it's a gift, right? It's a gift sometimes. So, yeah, most of my athletes though, they kind of play club year round. And then I like the kids to take off the summer. I don't want to do anything during the summer. Just because I know these kids are playing from basically the school, you know, the starting of school to the end of school. So I like them to take a break. But yeah, those I mean, if you can do it, I think it's great.
So then what's your club season, Coach? If you guys don't necessarily go through the summer, is your club season like spring and fall, or is it just spring? What's your club season?
Yeah, so for the high school age group, it is exactly what you just said. So we have a spring season and then a fall season. So, and then we just take off during the high school season.
Yeah. And what's your emphasis? Like when you go to tournaments and you're doing all that, is your emphasis on winning tournaments, or is it on building skills? Or, you know, what is your emphasis with club? What's the reason why kids should play club at the high school level?
At the high school level. So at the high school level, right, it's to continue to develop their skills, of course, but then it's also where most of the time, if kids want to go on and play at the next level, that's where they're going to get kind of seen. There's not a lot of scouts out during high school games or whatnot. You know, maybe when we go down to the showcase during winter, there are some coaches that are out there, but most of that stuff is when the club teams go to showcases at the high school level. Now, I also coach middle school kids like that age group too, right into the middle school, high school age, and we do focus a lot on the skill thing and just the not necessarily winning games, but just kind of producing young players to get to the next level as well if they want that. So that's kind of if their idea is to go to college, they kind of need to be playing club. And I'd shoot that question back at you, right, Tyrone? I think if basketball players want to play basketball, right, they should be doing club and then playing high school and all kind of stuff. I mean, unfortunately, right, that takes away that whole try this, try that, as they kind of get specialized as they get to that all right, got to make your decision what you want to do kind of deal. Which I don't know if that's a right thing or not, but it just seems the way everything just kind of flowed in.
Yes.
That's the way to land.
Yes. Yeah. So if I mentioned I'm a real novice when it comes to soccer. I mean, don't know much about the technicalities and all that. If I was going to start my granddaughter out playing soccer, what would be the first things fundamentally she needs to know?
Oh, well, I mean, join a rec league, right? Just see if that's what they like to do. And
she's in one. She likes it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's the first step, right? Is have those little ones just run around and, just see if they like it. Right. And then just let them play the game and let them develop. I mean, at that point, right, you learn that you just don't push them, right? You just let them fall in love with the game, so to speak. Right. And if they love it, they'll continue to do it. I learned a lot too by coaching my daughter for many years too, is, having that relationship. Tyrone, you probably went through it. Danny, you probably went through it too, where you try to coach your kids and you got to kind of find that right balance between being a parent and a coach. And, you got to let the kids find the love of the game and respect it. So as little ones, right, is just let them play and then hope that they have fun and let them try all the different things that are out there. And, hopefully they find something that sticks.
Right. Yeah. And you mentioned that's the way the world has evolved now with the club circuit and things like that.
Specialization, right?
Right. How do you handle that? I know Coach Johnson now with Flagstaff Hoops, make it a point to let our parents know that we're here for the kids to get better, not for Facebook opportunities.
Yeah.
How do you handle that with the parents? Because when you go into the club circuit, sometimes you get beat up pretty good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the parents don't understand, but we're getting better.
Right.
So how do you handle that?
Oh, mostly I talk to the kids and I'll talk to the parents too, right? Is that, at the younger ages, right, it's all about development. It's all about, we're not winning trophies. We're not getting contracts. We're not doing any of that, right? We're here to develop. And, that's the one thing. And you learn a lot by losing, right? And so
Right.
you know what you need to work on when you lose. You don't really know what you need to work on when you're winning. Things are just happening. So I always take a part of that. We were just actually with my younger kids. We were down in a tournament down in Phoenix a couple of weeks ago, and we were probably in the wrong kind of division, and we got it handed to us basically. But the message that I told my kids is that we're not giving up, right? We're going to keep battling. We're going to keep fighting, because at some point in your career, you're going to be in that moment where you're going to learn not to give up, and maybe that outcome will be different. So it's just that mentality that you can't, you just got to keep battling and keep working, right? And when you come back, you got to work on those skills. And when you get beat by a good team, you want to thrive to be that good team, right? That's why you compete. So the message is always like, hey, we're not here to win tournaments, right? We're here to compete and get better. I also coach a girls club team with Coach Sav over here at Flag High, and we got a nice young team as well, and they're pretty competitive. And so, but when we play competitive teams, we've had our share of losses in it, but it's the same mentality. Like, hey, this is good. We want to compete. We want to see what we're up against, and then we need to work to get better. And then the more you work to get better, it will become a better team, and it'll all flow, as we get older, right? And what I find in this community too is that we have a lot of great athletes, but it takes time to develop. You see some of those teams in Phoenix, when you're competing against, all these many kids that are in these clubs, and they're taking the best of the best kind of deal. It's like, I think sometimes we ask ourselves, are we doing things right? And my answer is, yeah, we're doing our things right. We're trying to provide an opportunity to get better. And then by the time they get into high school and that age group, we are now that competitive team that, we always get up against. So it just takes time to develop, right? You guys know it. Basketball doesn't happen overnight. It takes many hours to get to that right jump shot or whatnot, right?
Absolutely. And Coach, this year's team, tell us a little bit about this year's team. In a sense, those juniors are now seniors. It looks like your roster, you got a pretty good mix of seniors, juniors, sophomores. Tell us about this year's team and just kind of what's making them so special.
Oh, just their camaraderie, man. They are just like a family unit. And we got, just all of our seniors, they just all get along, and they all get along. I mean, it's just, I don't know, there's not one, like, how you get these teams, some of you, they have a lot of talent, but maybe there's some tension in the air, right? And they just get along. They support each other. We had a game the other day where we Mercy Road, and I think it was one of our last home games, and we had a young man who hasn't had a whole lot of playing time, and we put him in, and he had these moments of where he was going up against this other guy, and there was some bickering going on and some hard fouls, whatnot. And he was just kind of getting flustered. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to move him to the other side of the pitch. We moved him to the other side of the pitch. And then all of a sudden he scores the winning goal, shuts down the game. And the entire bench ran out to give this guy love, like that was his first, like he'd never scored a goal in his whole life, right? His first goal. And it was a really cool, special moment, right? Cool. Where it was almost tear dropping, where you see the whole entire team to give him hugs, and he comes off the field crying. But that's what this team is doing right now. The leadership by Daniel Castarita, and Costa and David and Luke Kramer and Michael Nielsen and our keeper, like the whole unit, they're just all leaders, and they just, it's a fun group to be around. And these moments, both of you've been in there. You have these moments where you're just like, this is kind of a special moment, right? Let's see how far this goes. And you don't want to like brag about it, because I don't know, that's just not who I am. But they need to know that this is a special group.
Yeah, and we've had those moments, and you say they're almost like teardrop moments.
Yeah,
and almost we cry.
Yeah,
we cry.
You walking out there, you just like, it is good stuff, right? And they're just a tight bond. We got fun pictures. I think I sent some pictures of us in the snow, and they just, I don't know, they're just a fun group. But hungry, always hungry. I don't know about those girls, but boy, these boys can eat. They like to eat all the time, right? Do you have food, Coach? Do you have food? Like, they just are hungry boys. Yeah. So I don't know about the girls, but boy, these boys are always hungry. Man, they just got to keep them fed.
Hey, they got that appetite for food. They got that appetite for winning. That's where that hunger comes from. That's what we like.
Keep them happy.
That's right.
For sure. So as I was like, I got to get them some peanut butter and jelly today for the trip.
Yeah, make sure you feed them.
That's right. You know that. But yeah, no, it's been really good. We're blessed to have a special team this year, and We played some good teams so far. Just we're looking forward to, getting into the playoffs and seeing how far we can make this run, and kind of keep the kids going on one game at a time,
Yep.
and knowing that our next 3 games. Bradshaw obviously is huge, but we got the Prescott rivalry and then the Coconino coming up next Friday, and so we know Eric's got those boys. They're getting some good success over there this year too, and so and yeah, they're going to be ready. So we just know that the next 3 games are going to be super important for us. But one game at a time. Bradshaw starting tomorrow or today is going to be a big one.
So, what is the mentality of these Phoenix teams when they come up here and it's 22 degrees? 20. Can you see their whole mentality? I mean, can you actually see a different attitude?
Yeah.
This,
Oh, yeah.
this
Right.
weather give you the whole different attitude.
They're sitting there shaking cold, right? And they're talking about it instead of focusing on what they should be doing. And they come off that bus and then they see the snow, so they get excited. They start playing in the snow, and then they realize, like, dang, okay, now it's been a couple hours I've been playing in the snow. Now I'm getting cold, right? Instead of just sitting there getting warm, they're out there having fun in the snow. So there definitely is a big advantage when these teams are coming up here and playing in the cold and then surrounded by snow. It's a big factor, right? But it goes both ways. And when talk about just club real quick, when we go down to Phoenix and we're playing in 100-degree weather,
right,
there's a huge difference. It's a big difference, right? So we'll take that cold. We'll take it.
Yep. And Coach, to expound on that a little bit, when you're coming in and you're setting your goals for the season and everything, I know for us, we always have a goal to be like at least in the top 4 as far as the power rankings. Because if we're in the top 4, that gives us the potential to have 2 home games. And then if we're in the top 2, we got the potential to have 3 home games with the old system, how it was. Now, of course, with open, everything's a little bit different. But we really try and emphasize our position as far as power points so that we can get people up to 7,000 feet. Is that ever emphasis for you? Because not only do you have them at 7,000 feet, you have them outside, like Coach was saying.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Right. We chat about that, right? The higher you can get, right, you want those home games for sure. Right. That is a big deal. And every time that we've had those home field advantages, right, we've done well. Obviously there's a couple of moments in there where we haven't, but yeah, if we can get that home field advantage, that is absolutely crucial to get those guys to come up here to 7,000 feet, playing the altitude and the cold. Yeah. So it is crucial.
Man, I'm just shaking my head. You freezing and can't breathe? Oh my goodness. That's a tough situation to be in, man.
Tough situation, right?
But you use it.
Yeah, we use it.
You have to use it.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, that's good stuff. And I was wondering, Coach Johnson does flag football, and one time he stood out there in the rain, had practice in the rain. He called me soon out of practice. Man, I'm a bad boy, man. I was out there in the rain. He doesn't have any idea.
I think I remember that day. I might have said hi to him that day that it was raining out there. Like, you need a rain jacket. It's cold. Yeah, but that was the cool thing, right? Like, that started that program is like you had a lot of our girls that played soccer and basketball on that flag high. So there's a nice moment there too with that multi-sport athlete where I think it helps them, right? They kind of become a little bit tougher. And a couple of those girls that I coach in club, the young ones, the freshmen that you had, they made a big impact for you. So I mean, that was cool to see, right? Is having that moment where they could kind of do that, play club, like they're just busy kids, which is good, right?
Yeah, and absolutely. And that brought, like, say, 2 sports together. So, at first when we were doing it, it was like the basketball girls and soccer girls, but at the end it was just flag football. And so that was the beauty of it. And I used to, even like senior night, when they wanted to do it at night at Coconino and stuff like that, and the temperature was going to be like 30 degrees or whatever, I'm saying, y'all know what y'all doing, right? Y'all know how cold it's going to be. And then I had to stop. I'm like, oh, hey, half of y'all playing snow, so y'all ain't worried about this.
Yeah. Yep. Just a little taste, right?
Yeah.
He was worried about himself.
You got to get out of that comfort zone, Tyrone. You've been locked up inside too many years.
I did, but hey, like I say, I practiced in the elements this year, and then when it was freezing cold out there, I supported the people by getting a snow cone that night. So I had a snow cone in about 20-degree weather.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as you're dressed right, for the elements, you're good.
Yeah.
And then you said that you lived in Alaska for a while, so I guess you're all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You were ready for this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Excuse me, Coach. I'm about to fight this bug a little bit, but you know what? It's about that time in the show, Coach. where we ask you to impart a little wisdom, a little knowledge on our millions of viewers that we have out there. And we ask you to do that by way of our da 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 Coach Johnson's golden nugget question of the day. Get him, Coach.
All right, Coach. So you've been coaching for a long time, and when you coach, especially a season like this, where you have a special group and stuff like that, but it could just be for any group. What's one thing you hope when the players are done that they take away from the experience of being coached by you?
The amount of love that I have for my players, and that they respect each other, and they know that with hard work, there's payouts. And sometimes the payouts can go all the way, but sometimes the payouts might cut short. But either way, knowing that if you come off that field and you've given everything you got, then there's nothing but love, right? That you've done the best that you can, and that's all we ask, right? All we ask as coaches is that you give everything you have in that moment, and that you're together as a group, and you get along, and you treat each other with respect and have fun with it, right? And that's the biggest thing is you got to have fun. And so when they come off that field from me is that I hope that I instill in them that A is that I want them to have fun. B, I want them to be good kids. And B is that know that I always love and care for them.
That's good stuff, Coach. I like that. I like that.
Coach, we appreciate you being on, man.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me on. I probably pushed the message a little bit to get you guys on there, but hey, to hang out with you two, maybe I want to be a part of this show. I like
come on.
Hey, come on, man. Come on, we will take you. We'll take you.
I know I get to see you guys every once in a while, and much love and respect for you, both of you guys, right?
Same to you, Coach.
Watching you
Same
guys.
to you.
So it's great. I appreciate you guys having me on the show.
Right. And if you ever have anything, do you have anything now you got going on? Fundraisers, anything that you'd like to put out there?
No, we're just, come out and support the kids while they can, both programs. I mean, even over Coconino, I know Coach Isaiah, their girls team is doing really well. And Coach Eric's got they're trying to fight for their lives to get into the playoffs. So hopefully they get a win over, I think they got Prescott next week. And then us, obviously, I want to take that away from them. But, he's done really good things over there. He's built a good program over there. Right. And much love for him. And he coaches in the club with me. And so, yeah, it's all good. I think that our Flagstaff community and soccer's doing really well. So, it's great. I appreciate you guys giving us some respect, and see if you can't get those other guys to get on the show too. That'd be great.
You got it. You got it. That's our mission. And like I said, if you ever have anything in the future that you want to be put out there, this is a way to do that.
Awesome.
We're more than welcome to get that out there. Good luck tonight. Good luck next week and in the future. And go get that state championship. I know you have a few.
We'll be battling for it, and same with you guys, right? Good luck tonight.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Definitely appreciate you, Coach, man. Go get them tonight. Let's do this.
Right. Let's go for sure, right? Big test. I'm excited.
That's right. So, all right. Hey, Coach, that was a good show, man. And that's one of our friends, man. He's doing big things. And that just shows, I'm sure, the same, as Coach Jenkins said, the same thing at Coconino, MPA, all over Flagstaff, that's happening in Flagstaff. Even though we're all coaching different sports, we're all still one family.
Yeah.
And even though we're Flag High, we still support Coconino and everybody else. And I think that's something that hasn't been there in the past, where we support Flagstaff kids.
And that's what it's about, is supporting Flagstaff kids. Tad Reagan, the principal over at Coconino, he's been telling me for years, ever since his kids was in junior high, say, I root for you all the time, but 2 times a year. And I respect that. And that 2 times is when we playing each other. You know what I mean? Right. That's how it's supposed to be. But outside of that, we want to see everybody do well, and we want to see Flagstaff represented in the state tournaments. We want to let people know that we got some serious athletes up here in Northern Arizona. And so, for us, it's always been, hey, let's see Flagstaff kids do well.
Right. And, some of the girls from Coconino and other things, they play in our flag hoops organization and other things, but we let them know, when we play y'all, we coming to beat you, and you better be out there to beat us.
Yep.
That's just the way it better be.
Rivalry good and fun.
Exactly. And it is. So, hey, man, things are going good. Hey, if you guys like what we're doing, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. Send us some comments. If you know somebody who has not been on the show, who needs to be on the show, hit us up. Yeah, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're all over the place. So we're out there. So please, this is what it's about, highlighting Northern Arizona youth. So hey man, there's some special ones out there, Coach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. And then just a little plug. We tell everybody else about plugging and plugging and plugging. I'm gonna put in a little plug for us. Yeah, everybody knows that we run Flagstaff Hoops. This is our 22nd year of Flagstaff Hoops. If you're interested in being a part of Flagstaff Hoops, we will be having meetings in March 17th, parent, coaches, players meetings at Flagstaff High School, 4 o'clock. Anybody's more than welcome to come to the meeting, see if this is something you want to be a part of.
Yeah, and that'll be for girls and boys. So
girls and boys. So there's a couple different organizations out there. If it's not us, there's a few more out there. So we just want our Flagstaff athletes to do well.
Yep.
So
there it is, Coach. You plugging away.
Hey man,
I ain't got time for you to continue to plug away though. People got to work.
You got a job?
Got a job.
Gotta go.
Yep. Hey man, so Coach, you got to get ready for a game tonight. So I want you focused, because you mess around and come in there and not focus, then we can go have a conversation afterwards. So you make sure you go focus and get ready for that game tonight.
You gonna stop threatening me with my job. You gonna stop threatening me with my job. Y'all know that. I'll go to HR on you.
Look here, everybody. We appreciate y'all joining us. I don't know what y'all got to do today. We ain't gonna listen to him no more. I do know one thing. Y'all ain't got to go home,
but you gotta leave here. Peace.